Okay, Kaylee, it's all you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Can I just see a show of hands who may have not been on the training back in January? Is there anybody who was not on that call? Okay, I'm not seeing any hand raise emojis. So I'm gonna just assume everybody received my email. This went out February 13th. Can I get a thumbs up if perhaps you saw my email come through? Okay, a few thumbs. I have heard specifically from Equip. Thank you, Mr. Ann, for reaching out. And I know we've been unsuccessful in an actual meeting taking place, but I appreciate some of the dialogue that's been happening. I have sent the email with the instructions regarding some of the benefit options that are to be decided by the employer. I wanted to start off with making sure everybody had a thorough understanding of that form. So that's kind of where I'm going to start. And then I'm going to follow up with our requesting NIPSIA support, which is our method to collecting and fielding requests for training. I'm going to go over and make sure everybody understands that link. And then I'm going to just ask that you guys have questions. Those of you who have questions, go ahead and interrupt me. That way I may address questions that you have during this opportunity. I know it's hard to schedule an additional hour or two outside of your busy schedules. So I wanted to utilize that hour this way. So starting off, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Again, to my knowledge, I have not received this form from any of the new groups. So if you have seen this, you've completed it, and you've thought that you've sent it to us, please speak up now because I have not received it. So this is our new group member benefits election form. This is how we collect your request and document the benefits that you wish to offer to your employees. So this top portion of the form, this is really to be filled out by our administrator. You will not have a group number up to this point, with the exception of you, Mr. Ann, because you are kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out in terms of being set up in our system, because you do have some employees already on benefits. Now, the new group name, you'll enter that, your charter's name, and then you'll also enter in the approximate number of eligible employees. So as you define them as benefits eligible employees, you'll enter this here. This is just to help us get an idea of kind of the lift that it's going to take to get your group implemented. And then also for us to get an understanding of, perhaps just what sort of communications that we can help with providing your group in terms of onboarding your employees. The effective date of coverage. We talked about this a little bit in our training in January, but the effective date of coverage is not just solely relied upon based on your charter's effective date. Some things that you need to take into consideration here is the fact that you'll need to be collecting premiums the month in advance, because the premiums that we collect pay for the premiums for the future months to come. So for example, I'm on NIPSIA benefits. I have payroll deductions taking place now in March. Those deductions will be for my April coverage. Okay, so when you're selecting an effective date, keep in mind when payroll is going to be running, how you'll be able to take care of the deductions before employees are able to have insurance coverage. Do I have any questions about that? See head shaking, no. Okay.
Well, actually, yeah. So are you saying that, let's say we have teachers that are starting July 1, do we need to be collecting for them in June? And where they don't have any money, so is
Right.
the school going to have to pay for that first month?
Okay, so that's going to be, there's a couple different avenues.
Okay.
Standardly, if an employee's first day at work is June 1st, they're an employee on June 1st, they would not be eligible for benefits until August 1st. So that
Okay.
way they start
Okay.
July 1st, you take benefit deductions all through July, and then they would be eligible August 1st.
Got it. Okay, that makes
Okay.
sense.
If you had an employee who was really adamant about having benefits early, they would just be a conversation of letting them know, you know, they would either have to pay up front for those benefits to cover the July month. You as the employer, if you were willing to do that, not many would be, but that's an awesome benefit, retention strategy. So that would just be a conversation to have with your employee. Thank you for that. Okay. Now, going down into this choose member benefit coverage. The gray portion, this is what's mandatory. As a participating entity in the NPSIA benefit, you are required to extend basic life insurance and medical coverage to your benefits eligible employees. Now, the basic life coverage does come with the benefit level offering of either a $10,000 life benefit, $25,000, or $50,000. As the charter, you are going to be electing which amount you would like to offer as the basic life benefit. Now, moving on into the non-grayed out sections, this is where you get to make your charter's decisions as far as what you wish to offer. So for example, dental, you will check yes or no, vision, yes or no, long-term disability, yes and no. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that for now. Same with additional life, domestic partner. So what domestic partner is if you have employees who are not legally married, but are looking to enroll a domestic partner, a spouse equal as a dependent, you need to tell us here if you wish to extend that benefit offering to them. Now, there are some implications related to imputed income calculations that need to take place because the IRS does not recognize domestic partners as eligible dependents. So some extra work is going to have to go on the back end. But in that email that I sent you all, I did have a presentation put together regarding how to calculate and watch out for the imputed income component of extending coverage to domestic partners. The next option that you need to consider is the part-time resolution coverage. The NPSIA statute defines eligible employees as working for basic life, it's 15 hours or more per week. For other lines of coverage, it's 20 hours or more per week. You may have some employees who are working, between 15 and 20 who want to be eligible for their, for instance, medical, dental, vision, or additional life coverage. So with that being said, if you wish to extend coverage to part-time between 15 and 20 hour per week employees, this will be something that you want to make sure to check off yes, and then we'll follow up with you on next steps in making that happen. Any questions here? So now we get into a little bit of a hairy part. We are going to be updating this form because in the 2026 legislative session, there was a bill that is pending the governor's signature, but basically it would be removing this 3-tier contribution schedule for charters and districts. Participating groups would be and contributing to the employee premium, 80% of the employee premium. The employees would be responsible for the remaining 20%. So this is currently an option to state whether you plan to follow our 3-tier contribution schedule, but come July, this is going to be changing. So I apologize, we have not yet updated this. This is still in the works with the governor's office. Do I have questions about the contributions? I'm clicking through, I don't see.
What is the projected change to that in July?
The projected change, so right now, the 3-tier contribution is dependent on the employee's salary. So under 50,000 is, now you're gonna be testing me. Under 50,000 is now 80% contribution by the employer. If the employee makes between 50 and 60,000, give me just a second. I need to make sure I'm getting my facts straight. Okay. So less than 50,000, the employer contributes 80%. 50 to just under 60,000, the employer contributes 70%. Then any employees who have a base annual salary over $60,000, the employer contributes 60%. So the change that the pending legislation would implement would eliminate the salary tiers for our participating districts and charter schools, requiring them to just contribute 80% across the board, regardless of their salary.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. She has a couple more days. The governor has a couple more days to be signing this. After that signature, we will be updating all of our communications, our premium tiers, everything regarding that. That way you're receiving consistent communication, but pending her signature, we need to wait until we have that. All right. Now, there is still the option for the alternate contribution schedule should an employer wish to contribute above and beyond that 80%. Okay. If you do, we have a handful of participating groups who choose to contribute 100% or 90% of the premium. So if you wish to contribute above and beyond, this is the opportunity to let us know here, and then we'll follow up with more information. Okay. Any questions? All right. At this time, I'm going to go ahead. Let me stop sharing for a moment. I'm going to introduce you guys. Also on the email was a request to set up a couple different trainings. First and foremost would be for you or a representative from your group who's going to be in charge of administering the health benefits. So that means collecting requests to enroll. Anything having to do with an employee's question regarding, premium deductions from their paycheck, all of those things that have the overarching theme of benefits administration, we want to make sure that they're well equipped to provide accurate and timely information to the employees. So first and foremost is going to be a training for you or whoever that person is going to be in your charter. The next training we really highly encourage is a training for the employees, introducing them to the benefits that they will now have access to, making sure that they understand to the level of detail about the co-payment, co-insurance for different associated benefits. We want to make sure that they are well informed of the benefits that they have access to because they're paying for it on a monthly basis, right? So we don't want them to, we want them to take advantage of the benefits that they have available to them. So again, in my email, there is a link under step 2, but I'm going to go ahead and pull up our website. And you all let me know if you can see my screen. All right, everybody's seeing nipsia.com?
Yep.
Thank you. All right, this is the homepage of our website. Getting ahead of myself, but step 4 is really just to get on here and click through, see what we have available, see where everything is saved. Your best friend is going to be this tab at the top of the page, which is specific for employers. Okay, from this drop-down menu, the very first option is request NPSIA support. Okay, this is going to direct you to our build out for requesting NPSIA trainings for either yourself or for your employees. Okay, we have contact information for our analysts. We have information like to be able to promote the trainings. But what I want to focus on today is this link here, which is request support. This is our form and our method for collecting requests. So this is really just 2 clicks from the home page, employers, request NPSIA support, and then you'll be able to find the link right here. This is where you'll be able to identify yourself. You are a new entity, so you won't find your name down here just yet. we have a build out specific for you, for, you to be able to answer the survey specific to a new participating entity. You will complete, and ideally, again, as I articulated earlier, this is really going to be beneficial for the person who's responsible for administering the benefit. So I know we have some directors on, but really this is going to be important for you and any additional individuals who the employees will come to have as their first point of contact for benefits related questions. So fill out the name accordingly. We'll collect your email address and a good phone number. We have some information here. If you have an idea of a date and time as far as what will work well for a training, please feel free to fill this out. Should you be kind of, I guess, needing suggested times or want to check NPSIA schedule, this you can follow up with by just saying, I'm not exactly sure on what date or time I have just yet, but I'm just starting the process. And that's fine as well. But the more information that we can collect off the bat, the better. Now, number 7 is a mouthful. We have what type of training are you requesting? So the first option here is for administration training. This specifies that this is going to cover our rules, our regulations, how to reconcile your NPSIA bill, as well as covering some information regarding benefits, just a brief touch on wellness and the NPSIA website, so that way you know how to get in touch with carriers should you need to, or all those good things. Lastly, we're going to review our employer site, which is our online eligibility system, which is where we collect all of the requests for enrollment. And so you'll be more familiar with that website, making sure you have credentials to enter the transactions that you need to. The next option, so again, this is going to be the first one that we want to prioritize, making sure that the administration is prioritized in their training. Next, we have the all staff orientation. So this is going to be really great for, if you have like an in-service day or that first week before you guys are having, perhaps students come in. Whenever you're certain that a majority of your employees are going to be in, we would like to host an all-staff training. This can be in person or virtual, just depending on the culture within your charter. But this is going to be an opportunity for the employees to get a better understanding of some of the rules and regulations, because they will be responsible for reporting, certain life events or, getting enrolled into benefits according to our statute. And then also making sure that they are familiar with the benefits that they will be paying for on a monthly basis. We also host, and this does not have to be priority, but I just want to make sure you guys are aware that we also host health and wellness fairs. So should this be something that you're interested in, we will bring out our carriers to be able to offer anything wellness, but really what we've been building out is our screening vans. We have screening vans through our medical carriers. We also have clinics through our vision and dental carriers. So this is an opportunity to bring services to your group. Maggie, I see your hand up.
Yeah, Kaylee, I have a question for you. We're all going to be new hires. So would you rather just be an all staff orientation or a new hire orientation that we sign up for?
I think all staff, you're right. All staff would be really beneficial because it's going to be new to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, and even as the years go on with your charter, we highly encourage, this doesn't have to just be for new hires. Employees need reminders, honestly, on an annual basis. So again, if there's like an in-service day that you have and it's a good opportunity for us to get out in front of your employees, we separate it here, all staff and new hires, but either one of these really should be taking place on a recurring basis.
Okay, so we'll just sign up for the all staff and you guys will know we are brand new?
Yes. And again, the all staff is going to be more benefits focused. The administration training is going to be more geared to the employer.
Oh yeah, we're doing we'll do both.
Okay.
My assistant will and I will do the admin one, and then Steve if he wants, and then the all staff. And then I'm thinking, Steve, we should probably do the wellness thing when you get ready to open up the wellness center. do a wellness fair, but we'll talk about it.
Wonderful. Okay, perfect. So, okay, we kind of covered the differences between all staff and new hire. Same concept, just making sure that we gear it towards, you know, a qualifying event of being a new hire, and less as much as the qualifying events that may take place later on during the year. So we just want to get a better understanding of who our audience is going to be. Okay, last but not least is the staff, family, and community health and wellness fair. So this, sometimes we have requests for like community fairs, which we're happy to accommodate. But we just want to know, are we going to be talking to employees or are we talking to the community? Because that does affect our messaging. So again, the all staff health and wellness fair is, you know, a better opportunity for us to get out in front of employees. But should you want to do something for the community, we're happy to accommodate as well. We just ask that you kind of distinguish who the audience will be. All right. If you're requesting an administration training, we ask that we collect some additional information. So we have 3 different presentations built out for beginners, intermediate staff, and advanced staff, depending on their years of experience in NPSIA benefits administration. Now, key is NPSIA. Even if you've had, you know, 20 years of HR experience, we want to make sure that we are thorough in our explanation of the NPSIA specific benefits. So to be completely honest, I think it would be a good idea for everybody on this call to start off with the beginner request. You know, our trainers are really great too. They field questions, they get an idea of who they're speaking with at the beginning of the training. So should they get the inclination that they have more training than they might have let on in the request for the support, you know, we're more than happy to sculpt and create the training as we go based on the questions that we're fielding. But just so you guys have an understanding of the intent behind question number 8. Okay. Tell us whether the events are going to be in person or virtual. Again, we're happy to accommodate both. Let's see, if it's going to be in person, this is our opportunity just to collect some more details about where it's going to be held. And then giving an idea of the presentations. For staff orientation, those are typically 1 hour in length. To be honest, with the administration training, and let me see if it's listed up here, the time breakdown. Yes, so you'll get a better understanding of the duration for these, about 1 hour. Now, the administration training specifically, depending on the questions, could be 3 to 4 hours. We just want to make sure that there's plenty of time for questions and exploration of the various resources. So just keep that in mind. If you have questions about how much time you need to book out, just to get a better idea, feel free to contact me. I'm happy to go into more detail as that's needed. More information about who will be attending, the number of attendees attending, and just any accommodations for snacks. Let's see. And that about covers the survey. So I hope, you know, it's a 17-question survey, but it's nice because having all of these questions asked up front kind of eliminates some of the back and forth that takes place via email after we receive your request. Of course, we're going to be contacting you, confirming we received your request. Should we have additional questions or need more details, you know, that will all be taking place via phone or email. But this is really going to help us get a clear understanding of your vision just from the questionnaire alone. Any questions about this? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and open up the last PDF that I wanted to cover this morning. And this is the required contact information form. Again, beside, I believe, Mr. Ran, I think I've not received this form from anybody else. So again, if you filled this out and believe that you have sent it, please let me know now because we've not received it. So this is our required contact information form. This is for us to get a better understanding of the structure of your charter school. Okay, so You won't have quite all of this information yet. You know, the employer ID is going to come once you're established with PED. We will assign this ID number. But as far as your employer name, the mailing and physical addresses, you can take care of those pieces. Now, the main contact. This is really reserved for superintendents, you know, of districts, executive directors or directors of charter schools, headmasters. Everybody kind of goes by a different name depending on the group, but I hope that this is going to clarify who needs to be listed under the main contact. Okay, next is for billing. This is going to be the individual responsible to reconcile and authorize payment for the NPSIA benefit invoices. Okay, this is oftentimes also the individual who does payroll at your entity. Next, we have the benefits contact. So again, I've talked a lot about, oh, let me just add, the billing contact, if you do have a third party taking care of this, these sort of tasks, a third party or a contractor is eligible to be listed under the billing contact, okay? As we move into the benefits contact, this must be an employee of the employer group of the charter, okay? Contractors are not permitted under the NPSIA statute to have access to our benefits system or to create requests on behalf of employees. So this must be an actual employee of the charter school. Third parties cannot be listed under the benefits contact. Do I have questions about that? Okay. Leave of absence contact. Again, for some charters, the benefits contact may be the same as the leave of absence contact. But anybody who's going to be responsible for basically, you know, long-term absences, leave, this is going to be an expert in being able to facilitate leave of absence policies. Risk. Dominique Williams is going to be on to present to you guys a little bit later this morning. The risk contact will, I think, be made a little bit more clear after you hear from her. But anybody who's going to be responsible for facilitating the workers' compensation, I can't even think of anything else. If you have individuals or questions that related to who should be your risk contact, I highly encourage you guys to ask Dominique Williams. She'll be able to provide more insight as far as who's a good point of contact for that, for both risk and the workers' compensation contact. Okay, last but not least, we do ask for an IT, information technology representative from your charter. Again, charter schools are structured differently than districts. We acknowledge that. But really, we need somebody who's going to be able to whitelist our domains. It's important that, you know, if we have a employer facilitated email domain, that we're able to communicate with you effectively. Same with your employees. We want to make sure that they are getting the information that we're sending them via email. And so if you have a technology whiz on your team who's able to take care of this and make sure that your email domains are compliant and, I guess, work collaboratively with the domains that we've listed here, that's going to just make sure that everybody's getting the information that they need in a timely manner. So again, IT, you may not have an IT team per se, but maybe there's somebody who is helping with getting set up in terms of your emails and stuff. Make sure that they are aware of this little nuance of making sure we are whitelisted. All right, questions about the contact information form? Okay, I'm about halfway through my time. I want to field your guys' questions. What else has been left unanswered up till this point? Again, you know, we haven't gotten into a lot of the benefits administration topics. We want to set that aside through the training that you'll be requesting. That way we can have one-on-one conversations with you all. But if there's anything just really burning you up, I want to open it up to you guys to ask. All right, I'm not seeing any. You guys have my contact information. Again, everybody confirmed they saw my email. So I'll be following up again this week. Just, hey, this is your gentle nudge. I haven't received XYZ. You know, if one-on-one time needs to be scheduled, I'm happy to do that. Ms. Duran, I see that we are going to be rescheduling, so just send me over some times that might work for you. Anybody else need anything? Is this pretty clear, concise information? I hope so. All right. All right, Ted, I'll hand it back over to you. I really appreciate the time this morning.
Miss Haley,
Yeah,
before
sure,
you
thank
go,
you.
can you drop your email on the chat, please?
Absolutely, I can.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kaylee.
All right, thanks, Kaylee.
Thank you, guys.
Well, that went a lot shorter than we thought. So, we don't have our next one until 10 o'clock. We have the head of the math and science department, Shafiq Chaudhry, coming in. Let me see. A couple other things Missy wanted me to go over. She said March 1st emails went out. You have until March 18th to have a meeting with her. And I think I said earlier that 2 out of the 3 schools have had that meeting. She said she wasn't sure where everyone was on their website. But if you want to reach out to her for guidance to avoid any red flags, if you haven't already. She said if you had conditions added to your checklist, make sure those are done by the PEC deadlines identified.
Hey Ted, Kat has her hand up.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Kat.
Actually, I don't know if I'm speaking for anybody else. But I know for our PEC meetings on Wednesday, I wanted to ask Missy like what the process is, like how it's all going to work, because this is my first time for sure, and I can speak maybe on Julia's behalf. I'm not sure about Steve. How will that
You're
all
going
go down
this Wednesday?
this Wednesday? Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't discuss that at all, but
I just thought because is it going to be like all of them? Like, how is it going to all work?
I think they're all there right now for contract negotiations. I mean, as long as there's a quorum there, maybe not all 9 of them, because we're short one commissioner right now. But this isn't like your commencement meeting. I think this is more of just like a
Our renegotiations.
Huh?
There are renegotiations.
Yeah. There are renegotiations, is that what you
Yeah.
said? Yeah, I'll ask Missy that to see, because when I email you back, I'll email you all back like with these questions, and we'll kind of
Okay.
I'll ask her what like the schedule's looking like for Wednesday and what to expect.
Yeah, well, we know the schedule, but I just so my brain is still thinking like when I went in front of the PEC to ask for an additional planning year, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to make sure, like, are we just going into a separate room, same room? Is it formal dress, not formal dress? I know that's the petty question, but just make sure, give all due respect to the PEC and
Okay.
thank you.
Yep.
You brought up something, Kat. I thought ours was Zoom. Was ours Zoom, Steve, or do we have to be down there? You're on mute. You're on mute. Steve, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, we got a Zoom invitation and said that either Zoom or in person. I would just assume we could do Zoom.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I just read the invitation. It says we welcome you in person, but also provide a Zoom invite below. So you can do either one.
So Kat, that means yes, you'll be in the main room. There won't be like a side room or anything. You'll be in the main room.
And again, my feeling sometimes is that if you have half your people in Zoom and half in person, it sometimes doesn't work as good.
So stay on Zoom. Okay.
Unless Ted, unless you or someone else says that, oh my God, it's a slap in the face if you're not there in person. Um, they've met me, they've met Maggie, they've met Sue, they know they've met Tina. It's not like we're strangers.
Yeah, I think it's okay. But I'll I'll ask Missy if there's that any sort of impression like that where it's disrespectful if you're not there. But I think
Yeah.
it's probably fine.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Well,
I can
Sue,
always run down, Ted, if they want to see somebody there personally, I can run down and the rest
Okay.
can be on Zoom. But like Steve said, it works good if we're all one or the other, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Well, any other questions? We have 23 minutes. They were supposed to go a lot longer. So we have quite a bit of time. I can take down any questions for Missy. But if not, we'll just come back a couple minutes before 10. Does that sound good for everyone?
that would be fine. I'm sure that but while we're here, I'm kind of curious, Julio, how are things going there? I talked to someone, I think Patty, that said that you actually have the building situation ironed out a little bit.
How are you, Mr. Steve? Long time no see.
Yeah,
Um, we are actually staying at our building where our office is located, which is a high school. So we will be here for the next year. This won't be our permanent location. We were able to secure a space on the second floor, so I'm really excited about that. But
well,
we're
congratulations.
thank you. We're definitely still on the lookout for we need a space. We're gonna grow here pretty quickly, pretty aggressively. So we need to make sure we have enough space to grow into it. Congratulations on your numbers. That's really exciting.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's and I'm not sure where you're at, but one day you're thinking, oh, we're not going to have enough kids, and the next day you're thinking, oh, we're going to have too many. And again, it's the parents that have signed up are so excited, and if and they know that there's a chance their kid's not going to get in, but they're begging us. We were asking for volunteers, and one woman said, I'll volunteer 8 hours a day every week, every day if I have to, if my kid
Yes,
gets in. And
folks.
yeah, so it's I wasn't real worried about having too many kids, and then once you start hearing the parents, you kind of think, oh my God, how can we say no to them?
Well, this is the time to ask for a larger number, right? When you go up to
Well,
to contract negotiations, if that's something that you're willing to do.
we would love to do that, and the other thing that Meg and I were talking about. Well, there's a couple possibilities. One is, let's say we end up with 40 kids sign up. Is there any way we can go back and say, I know you said 37. Can you is there some way of doing a waiver where we can get an extra three in there? The other possibility, I just thought about this morning, it's probably not a great one for us, but could we have 40 kids and only get paid for 37? Just let three of them kind of uh,
You don't want to do that. You have
yeah,
money and
I
you
know.
have yeah,
I'm
that's
just
where
thinking of, rather than disappointing those three kids, is there some way that we could find a way to sneak them in somehow?
I
Now, if
think
we
that
have
if
100 kids signing up, it's probably going to be pretty hard to go back and say, oh, we have 100 kids signing up. Will you go from 37 to 100? But could we sneak in just a few extras?
but I'm sure if you have those butts in the seats, like that's I mean that's the biggest challenge, right? Like
Yeah.
you beat all the odds of you
Mhm.
know the space and you beat the odds of how many kids are there. So having more kids, I don't think that that'll be a problem. They'll be actually very excited. I don't see why they would say no. But I'm not a commissioner. I don't have a law degree.
Plus,
I'm
if
just
that
And
saying.
school's not their fit, you have extra bodies to put in those seats.
Yeah.
we heard so many times you guys will be lucky to get five, and we're like, nope. we know we're going to get a bunch, and just we don't have seats. We actually just, I'm having an artisan make tables out of big redwood rounds, and the kids are going to be sitting on tree stumps.
Well, there you
So
go.
keeping in with the outdoor, so it's butts on the stump, I guess is the way. I don't know how good that sounds. But yeah, we're keeping in with the theme of outdoors and with the yurts, and oh, it's just looking beautiful, and I'm excited. I'm excited to get those babies up there, and I'm excited. Well, actually, what I'm really excited about is like, let's put out and start hiring some teachers because I want to
Yep.
see who I can pull in and get them busy.
Yeah, if you guys have social media, share your pages with us so we can also push those through because I'm sure that it's such a neat program that folks would be willing to relocate. So,
Right, but we don't
We,
want any more kids.
well, I
we
know,
don't want
but
more
you need
kids right now.
teachers.
We
For
want
teachers.
in April. I need teachers though. Yes, I do
Yeah,
need
okay. Oh,
teachers.
teachers, yeah.
That's cleaning and sanitizing.
But yeah, our website's nice. Our website's looking good.
Please take a shot at cleaning and
That's
sanitizing.
awesome.
We have some corrections to make on it with the school name, but that's so minimal right now.
To see if an employee cleans and sanitizes the prep table
That's
correctly.
very cool.
And then every week when I go up to the property, Steve is just like pushing through. It's like, oh my gosh, the foundation's being poured on the wellness center, and here comes another yurt, and there's another foundation over there. And we were up there, what was it, Thursday? I don't know, Steve just like knocking the trees on. I'm like, Steve, that's gonna fall on your okay, never mind. He goes, it's the work truck. He's up there cutting limbs so that the kids don't like run through the forest and hit their face. And I'm like, that's gonna hit your truck. He's like, it's a work truck, it's fine. It's fine.
That's amazing. I hope you're taking pictures of that, documenting all of this.
Oh
I
yeah,
believe
the
it.
whole thing. Well, one of the things with the redwood tabletops, you know how they have the splits in them, and you know how the kid you put things in there and put the what do we call it, Steve? What is that stuff that goes on top of it?
Oh, the epoxy.
Epoxy.
The
Epoxy.
epoxy. So they're making the tables, putting pebbles inside, and when we make a big one for like where the kids are going to eat, the kids are all going to write their name on a stone. Anyone that was involved in creating the charter school will write their name on the stone,
Oh,
put that
wow.
in for the big table, and that'll be like our conference table for the school with all of the kids' names in it, and first teachers and Steve and the people from the center that helped get this going, the board members, the people that helped write the charter. And Neela, you're going to have to come up for that one and write your name on one of the stones and put it in the table, and then we'll lay them all so all the names can be read. So down through the years, people will see the first people who had the vision for the school.
Beautiful. That will be written in stone. That's awesome.
That's kind of cool.
That's very neat. I like that.
And then I do these big ideas, and Steve's like, okay, that's enough. And I'm like, no, we'll do it later then. I don't want to get you overwhelmed. You handle the yurts. I'll handle everything else.
We're gonna have to take a field trip to see you guys.
You
Oh,
keep
come
saying
on
that.
up.
You're probably busy a little bit, I would guess.
Just a little bit, Mr. Steve.
Yeah. But I'm excited that to hear that you've got your facilities at least temporarily under control.
Yes, because that
I
that
know
was
that
the
was very.
She's lucky she doesn't even have to do the food permit stuff. She doesn't have to do all the dirty work we have to do to serve food to kids.
So
this
you
year.
yeah, so you could just use your they've got all those facilities there for you.
Yes, so we'll be sharing our lunch lady or lunch room. Um, but there is a number of things that we do have to take care of, and Palms and Associates will be down here to help us with that. And then it is a high school, so the real nice thing is that we have the second floor, so we won't have any sharing of spaces other than our lunchroom, but it's at two different times, so the kids really don't interact with each other. Let me see. Thanks for sharing that.
There you go. Yeah, you can take a look, and putting the news articles up on there too, on the Facebook page and stuff. So yeah, we are looking legit.
Getting there, guys. Did you guys fill out this NMIPSIA stuff already?
Yeah, my business manager did it for me.
Did she? Did he? Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she.
and then I just submitted it. NIPSIA doesn't really appreciate business managers like pitching in, but I work closely with mine because she knows I'm busy.
That's awesome. I think, yeah, it
No, we
sounded
haven't.
like we, sorry, go ahead.
We haven't turned ours in. We haven't turned ours in yet, have we, Steve?
No, I haven't done anything.
I haven't done it.
Are you getting
So
your
if
health
you haven't done it,
insurance, Julia? Are you getting your health insurance?
Am I getting it? I hope so.
So that should have been that should have been filled out then.
Let me see.
I'm sorry, you guys, I have that serve manager serve training on just so that I can get it through it.
I have my executive assistant doing all of those. All of the, is that the synergy one this morning? Oh, my executive assistant, I was just like, okay, here you go. Introduced her and sent it all over to her because I said, I know enough about that synergy stuff now for what I need to know. You're the one that's going to be running this, so you handle all of that. And I just go to the ones that I have to go to, which is just taking a whole bunch off of my plate, which is nice.
Of hours. It is a lot of hours. Are they making you guys go to the in-person ones too?
No, I'm not doing any in-person ones.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, Zoom is a game changer. I mean, we used to do our governing board trainings driving around the state
Holy
all
cow.
year. Yeah, just doing them groups of them at a time everywhere. So this is much preferred for everyone.
And then people have to show up for them too. It's
Yeah,
not your time, but it's their commitments to be there. And you'd hate to drive all the way to Gallup and then no one shows up.
yep.
Hmm.
Well, we can, yeah, I mean, you guys can chat as much as you want, but we'll just expect to be back around 9:58 and be ready for math and science at 10.
It's good. And Maggie, if you're still there, I'm working on something else, but I just sent you that letter of support.
I saw that. I'll take a look
Okay.
at it.
Okay.
Steve, have you seen Julia?
Depends on the machine. Let me explain. Dishwashing machines sanitize by using either hot water or a chemical solution.
Miss Cat,
Sí, señora.
Or either cook machine.
I ran to the restroom and Yossi tells me, Auntie Cat summoned you. I said, where?
Oh no, I was asking Steve if he had seen Julia. I mean Julia from Mora.
Now,
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Julia and Julia. I'm gonna be back in.
okay.
We have math next, right?
Hello, Shafiq.
Hi, good morning, Tad. Good morning, everyone.
So Shafiq, Shafiq is here from the Math and Science Bureau, division, whatever. I get them mixed up. Um, we have three implementation year schools this year that are on the call. So we have Inspira STEAM Academy down in Las Cruces, and Julia Rivera Tapia is here. We have Collins Lake Outdoor School located in Mora, and we have Steve Smaby, Maggie Dodd, and Dr. Snook on. And then we have Kat Duran from Equip Academy of New Mexico, which is just probably 3 miles from our office.
Wonderful. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, school leaders and the charter school team for inviting me to come and present with you this morning on some of the important things from math and science. I know you all are busy um, getting your schools uplifted and ready for the school year. So I hope this short presentation will be insightful and we'll have plenty of time for questions as well. I'm going to go ahead and put uh, a document in the chat box. Um, the one document that I've just placed in the chat box, these are the slides from that I will be presenting today. They do have hyperlinks in them, so I wanted to provide them to you all as a handout and for your future reference. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And um, I will go through my short presentation to you all this morning. Again, as Ted indicated, my name is Shafiq Chaudhry. I'm the senior manager here in math and science. And I'm here today to just talk about some of the STEM requirements that that you'll need to be aware of as your schools open this upcoming academic year. So first, we'll talk about standards. So in math and science, our team is made up of content experts in math, computer science, and outdoor learning. As part of the New Mexico Administrative Code, there are standards that are required to be taught K through 12. I'm not too intimately familiar with your campuses, school leaders. I know some are just high schools that teach grades 9 through 12, or some are elementaries with um, opportunities to grow in future years. But one thing to just want to highlight and make sure you as school leaders understand is within the administrative code, there are requirements to be teaching mathematics K through 12, science K through 12, and computer science is unique in that it is these are standards that are considered optional for schools. However, they are mandatory and required if a school is offering a computer science specific course. Typically, that is seen at the high school level. The handout has hyperlinks to the specific New Mexico administrative regulation and the content standards as well, so that your teachers that you hire or that are hired are aware of them and can become familiar with them. In addition, another tool as instructional leaders that you have access to along with teachers are the instructional scopes. These are tools that unpack the standards. So one thing I hear from school leaders is one of the first professional developments that they offer is unpacking the standards. That I would say bluntly is a waste of your time and a waste of your resources. Your resources and your limited resources should be utilized to helping educators deeply understand the standards and utilizing the instructional scope as that foundational tool, which has already unpacked the standards. And so you and your teams can then utilize your resources to help focus on instructional coherence, walkthroughs, instructional planning, etc. The strategy, since it's an educator developed tool, these documents have strategies for supporting layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3 instruction, incorporating UTL in all 3 layers of the multi-layer systems of support, and are to support students and teachers in understanding what is on grade level instructional content and practices look like. These documents are available for K through 12 math and science, and we are updating them currently, and to our most up-to-date versions will be available for the math and science content areas in April. The next thing I do want to share with you all as school leaders is some of the outcomes from this legislative session. Most pressing is Senate Bill 29. This bill is being signed by the governor today. This level sets and provides foundational, I'm sorry, not foundational. It provides level setting for mathematical practices across the state. So over the next, in school year 27-28, it will require schools to implement a math instructional leadership framework. So this will be a framework and practitioner guide that you as school leaders will utilize to help support strong quality mathematical programming at your school sites. It will require schools to submit, districts to submit a mathematics professional learning plan that'll be updated at least twice every 2 years. Implement universal K through 3 math screening, and for students that are found to be that are experiencing math difficulty or need targeted supports, then to develop support plans for those students. The support plans would also ensure that parental notification happens 4 times a year. So what this means is the public education department is going to be developing guidance and rules for the remainder of this calendar year. And then in January of 2027 or earlier, the guidance will be released to you all as LEAs to begin implementing for school year 27-28. The last thing I want to share is the high school the new math graduation requirements. These went into effect this school year 25-26. So this was from House Bill 171 that passed in the 2024 legislative session. So for students that are entering high school that are in cohort 2029, so they'll graduate in 2029, they are required to take 4 credits of mathematics or 4 units of mathematics, which include a sequence of Algebra 1 and Geometry or Integrated Math 1 and 2. The other 2 math courses that a student should take in high school is dependent on what their aspirations are. However, if students are wanting to take Algebra 2 and Financial Literacy, that should still be offered as math courses, even though those are not required courses. And you as LEAs, you may make a determination that you may want to continue offering Algebra 2 as one of your required credits. That is up to you all as LEAs. And then for those that offer middle school, there is an option for students that are ready to access Algebra 1 or Geometry in middle school, that if students take those courses and pass, then they can be awarded graduation credit as long as those courses in middle school are taught by a secondary endorsed math teacher. And then finally, along with the work around the graduation requirements, is our re-envisioned high school math pathways. We worked with a group of K-12 math community members for 2 years to re-envision our high school math pathways. That working group recommended and we adopted a modernized Algebra 2 course. So this is an example of what the modernized Algebra 2 course looks like. Again, if you have students that are going to be that would like to take Algebra 2, a modern Algebra 2 is broken up into different pathway opportunities depending upon student aspirations, where the first semester of an Algebra 2 is going to be common, and then the second semester is where we have flexibility. Again, depending upon student aspirations, they can take either a semester of advanced algebra, introduction to data science or statistics, or quantitative reasoning. So this graphic showcases an overview of the potential pathways. Again, knowing that for students that are starting as freshmen this year and graduating in 2029, they have to take Algebra 1, Geometry, or Integrated Math 1 and 2 as the required courses. As part of this work, we are going to be phasing out the traditional Algebra 2 and the traditional Geometry at the end of the 27-28 school year. These math courses are available in Nova, and the course outlines are available on our website. The sequence in which courses are off the standards that are taught in the course is still up to the LEA. We provided just the overview, just the overall scope. And then there is an informational webinar that was provided to LEA leaders last year. Their link is in that handout. It includes a deck and a recording that provides more information. Ted, that is all I have for you all as school leaders and the charter school team this morning. I know this is just very quick what you need to know as y'all are prepping for this upcoming school year. So I'm just going to pause. I'm going to stop share and pause here to see what questions are percolating up at this moment in time.
Shefik, we are a STEAM school. Inspeed has a STEAM school that's opening up. We're K through 5. We're opening up with kindergarten and first grade first. I really like that the instructional scope that you provided. That's only for science, right?
Director, no, it is for all of the content areas. So there is a math, science, social studies, and ELA
Oh, perfect.
instructional
Okay.
scope for kinder and first grade. Right now, our team is responsible for the math and science, and we're updating those right now. So those will be available in early April.
Perfect.
But the 4 core content areas are available.
Awesome. Thank you.
And Shafiq, I like what you said about don't waste your time with unpacking standards because the scope really is where everything we need is. I've used it extensively, and it is what the curriculum at my school is going to be based on because with the project-based learning, the students all will have their folders with their rubrics. And Julia, if you've never really spent some time with that scope, on the bottom part of the page, it'll say students who have mastered this will, right? And it tells you exactly what they're going to show you that you will be able to look at and say, okay, there's my data that they have mastered this. And so if you're going to be having your teachers use rubrics for their student learning and things like that, I take that and copy and paste it and put it into a rubric. And so that way, whatever the project-based task is, the students will have mastered that standard in that project if they do these things. And those things are in the rubric. Does that make sense? So it's that section for me is gold.
And then
where
we
it
can turn
says
them
the
into I
students who
can
have mastered
statements. So
this.
that's beautiful.
Yes, it can be turned into I can statements to be posted and everything else. And if you just start your teachers off with this is what I'm requiring, they will be used to doing it. They will be used to using the scope and the level of mastery that the students will achieve will be higher because the teachers actually know what they're looking for.
Awesome. How exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm living with that scope right now while I'm writing curriculum.
Well, thank you, Shafiq.
Yes, thank you, Ted, and thank you, school leaders, for giving me a couple of minutes of your precious time this morning. I know Ted and the charter school team has lined up great trainings for you all. And like I indicated in the handout attachment, my contact information is on there. If there are questions that percolate up after today, please feel free to reach out to me or you can reach out to our team. Thank you,
you.
Ted. Thank you, school leaders. You all have a
Thank you,
wonderful
Shafiq.
day.
Bye,
You
Shafiq.
too. Yeah, Shafiq is right. I went through, this is training number 8, our final training. We've met with Indian Ed, language and culture, licensure, educator growth and development, homeless students, accountability, Title I, NOVA, community schools, success and wellness, art funding, educator quality division, transportation, assessment, NIPSIA, MLSS, special ed, school budget, student, school, and family support, now math and science, and we have one more, which is NIPSIA in about 15 minutes. That is quite a bit.
Ted, I have another stupid question, or it might not be stupid, but I noticed that with the wellness too, we're not in a lot of the listservs. Is that because we're not renegotiated yet? Will we be on um their emails once we get our renegotiations done on Wednesday?
I gave them your emails last week. So I know they're going to be contacting about the trainings coming up, like in June and July.
Okay. And then we were also told that because we're new schools, Julia and I were told that we were told first to do the unified application, then we were told we didn't have to do the unified application. Do you have the answer to that?
I don't, but I'll ask.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, I was writing. Yeah, I think we'll just take another break. What a slow last day. We have Nipsia coming back at 10:30.
I had to go clean off the kitchen counters. Gaio's coming over, Steve. He's gonna work on that backsplash. You're on mute.
Yeah, when he gets there, if he has some time, have him give me a holler.
I
I'd
will.
like,
I'll have him give you a call.
yeah, I was gonna give him a call, but if he's gonna be there, I never know. Some people, when's a
Yeah,
good time to call?
no, he just finished doing a roof and it's nearby here, so he's gonna come by and get more of the backsplash done.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have him give you a call. He was gonna come up this weekend. He didn't make it up there?
Not while I was here. I don't think so.
No, well, his in-laws are in town,
Okay.
so
But yeah, I've started some of that a little bit and I've got the drain lines in, so um I'm ready for him to start building.
okay, sounds good. I'll let him know. I will let him know. He can put
Oh,
that on his schedule.
I see Greg is on here too, if you talk to him.
No, I need Greg. Are you there? I need to just tell him I need to send him an email. There he is. I haven't emailed you back.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, I was muted.
It's okay. When do you have time to work on those?
Yeah. I actually have time this afternoon and
Okay,
or tomorrow morning. Um, did
I
you
don't
want to
think I have
have
any.
another
Yeah,
meeting this afternoon?
yeah, let's do that. Let's do that so we can go through exactly because I redid them all and
Sure.
I redid those three within the thing. But you're saying I sent you the same thing back over, but I had added into
Hmm.
them. But so I don't know. So let's go through them and
Sure.
I'll just add right in and submit right away so that we're done. Because I think I have what you need, but I don't know that I sent you the right ones.
Okay, let's meet at 2. I'll send you an invite right now.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do that.
Okay, awesome.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. Okay, so that's going to be handled. So what else? We'll just check our boxes while we're waiting.
No, it looks like you got a lot of work to do though.
I know. I like to just, okay, that's done. That's done. That's done.
Oh, while we're waiting, I'm not sure, Dr. Snook, if you're still there. Um, just curious whether or not you had a chance to, if you found anyone that wants to maybe work with us for the summer reading. Whoops,
Can't
I
hear you,
can't
Neely.
hear you, even though you're unmuted. Now you're muted. Huh, strange. Is there some place to turn your microphone off that you may have accidentally hit?
Oh, she went out. She'll come back in. Steve, when I asked about the summer reading, and they said they had 6 teachers already.
Yes. Um, so if you've got another one that's interested, have them apply anyway.
I have
Um,
2. Yeah.
have them apply and because I'm not sure who the 6 are. There may be one that um, some of them may not show up, or we may have more kids than what we expect.
Well, it's Denise and Michelle, the ones I did summer reading with last year.
Okay.
So they're highly trained. They're
Okay.
Yeah, I've mentored and then them too. So they're ready to rock and roll. It wouldn't just be
Yeah. I think
they
one
know
of
what
the
they're doing.
people that we've got in there is uh, I think nothing more than the boyfriend of one of the teachers at school and thought he could make some easy money. Um,
Yeah, no, these are reading teachers.
okay.
Michelle's the aide that I want for the reading specialist aide.
Okay.
So if I can get her, so I think she wants to do the summer reading so she can see what the drive will be like.
Have her apply.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will.
Okay, Neely, let's see what's going on with you.
We still
No?
can't hear you. You just silent today, Neely.
Well, if give me a holler or touch base, if there's any update on that. If not, that's fine. At least you can listen.
Dominique, we're just on break. We have about a minute or two to make sure everyone's back.
Sounds good. I'm just waiting on my partner Justin to log in, so
Okay, I'll
we'll wait
keep
a
an eye
couple
out
more
for him.
minutes. Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
One, two, three. Okay, well, that's gonna work.
That worked. I can hear you now.
Yeah, it's not my normal mic. I'm not sure what's going on, but okay. Something gremlins at work. Anyway, Steve, to answer your question, sorry that took me a while to get there. I have put out the information. I have not received any interest back, but that's not to say it won't happen still. So we'll continue to work on it. And now you are muted.
Okay. No, that sounds great. Let's see what we come up with, and hopefully someone's interested. And if not, we'll do the best we can anyway.
Absolutely. All right. And I will continue to support no matter what else comes our way. So you
Oh
just
yeah, I know.
let me know what you wish for.
Yeah, and I'll be up there busy with the school, but able to step in and help make sure they're on track too. So,
Excellent. Excellent.
and I will resist giving them a full letters training as a facilitator. I'll just say, okay, this is what we're going to do for now.
Well, and I don't want to do it, but we'll have to see how many of the kids that are doing the summer reading are also going to be students at the charter school. We may want to hold them back a little bit so that their start of year reading isn't too high. We got room for growth.
No,
No, we're not going to do that.
they're going to grow so much. That's the last thing I'm worried about is their test scores. I'm telling you, they're going to grow so much with the way we're designing it. I'm not, and just being outside and all the project based heavy lifting. They're going to have a ball.
Okay, everyone, we have Dominique Williams and Justin Perkins on from NIPSI to talk about risk. I believe, Dominique, you've been on a call with us already, right?
I have. I did a real brief introduction on the last call, so we'll go into a little bit more detail on this call.
Okay, well, we have our 3 implementation year schools here Inspiro STEAM Academy in Las Cruces, Collins Lake Outdoor School in Mora, and Equip Academy in Albuquerque.
Justin, we can't hear you if that's what you were trying to check. No? I guess everybody's mic is just off today.
What's going on? I don't know what's going on. Well,
All right, well, I'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen. All right, perfect. Can you guys see that? Okay, perfect. All right, so good morning, everybody. My name is Dominique Williams. I'm the risk coordinator with NIMSIA. I'm joined today by the risk director of risk services with Palms and Associates, Justin Perkins. Together, we're going to go over and review some of NIMSIA's risk program and the services that we provide to our members. Feel free to put your questions in the chat, raise your hand, interrupt us. We'll answer your questions as we go. So real quickly, I'm just going to go over NIMSIA right now in the risk program. We currently cover 88 school districts and 102 charters, and then 26 other educational entities. We're run by an 11-member board. and we have 12 full-time staff at the NIMSIA office. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Justin first to get us started on the insurance and risk services with Palms. Your audio is a little
Yeah.
We could hear
spotty.
you a little bit.
Yeah, you're just garbled.
No, we can't hear you at all.
Now we can't. Yeah, now we can't hear you.
It appears that you're muted, but you don't look muted on the screen.
Same problem. No, Neely was having.
We're just having audio issues today.
How did you fix yours, Neely?
I had to completely go into a microphone I never use that's in my speaker, which isn't great quality, but yeah, it was not. I usually run a mic off my webcam, and it wasn't wanting to cooperate today. So
No good. No good.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, there we
Can hear you
go.
now,
Is that
Justin.
good?
Yeah.
That's good.
Wow, I just did what you did and went into my webcam, which I never use, and it worked.
Excellent.
Whatever
Good.
Are we in
works.
retrograde?
Oh,
We're in
okay. There we
retrograde,
go.
aren't
I have
we?
my technology demons this morning. Okay, if we're good to go, thank you. So start over round two. Um, So yeah, briefly, just an overview of Palms Insurance, the relationship that we have had, the broker relationship, providing the insurance and also risk management services for NIMSI and all pool members. You can see goes back a number of years. Pretty soon we'll be at 40 years. Um, we work very closely with NIMSIA, the board, the risk advisory board, the risk advisory committee, the RAC, as well as the board when it comes to really the overall of objectives of the risk culture, the risk framework, the insurance framework, the reinsurance framework of how we can make sure that we, within this pool, insulating and creating a risk portfolio that really contemplates all of the risk and exposures associated with the operations of our charters K through 12, as well as our higher ed entities. Just an overview, our risk Ponds and Associates is really kind of like comprised in two distinct kind of like departments. Once we have our safety and loss control, and then we have our brokerage. Under the safety and the risk management, that really has to do with a dedicated team that we have boots on the ground in New Mexico, and their sole responsibility is only doing the kind of training and implementing the type of risk management strategies that can mitigate pre-loss activities. And so these are things when it comes to site inspections, it comes to employee training, any of the type of trainings that are related to new House or Senate bills that pass that require certain areas of local compliance of risk and protection and safety. So again, this particular department on a very vast array of risk management services, which we'll see later in the slide, that are offered to all of our members on demand, risk-free. So when it comes to the annual premiums that are paid into from your respective school, all of the risk management and loss control services are already included with no additional cost. Under my purview is the brokerage and the consulting, the insurance division. Here, we are responsible for really primarily three things. We manage and maintain all of the risk insurance for the pool members. That has to do with all of your property, all of your liability, and all of your workers' comp. When I say liability, that's your general liability, that's your auto liability, that's your directors and officers liability, that's your employment practices liability, that's your crime insurance, your workers' compensation, your cyber liability, your professional errors and omissions liability, and also your employee benefit liability, not employee benefits, but employee benefit liability. In other words, the type of liability that can follow the school for as being a fiduciary of providing 401ks or 401k plans or pension plans to your members. So that is the vast liability that we put into place. And also property and auto physical damage. So in any intersection of your operations, business activities, student activities that intersect those areas of liability and risk coverage that may have a concern as the direction of your operations, how does it impact it? Can we do this? Can we not do that? That will be under my purview, where you could call me directly or my team, and we'll give you kind of the consultative direction to guide you, through those matters. Excuse me. The second is contract review, which is very, very important. We have been on a campaign for a number of years of trying to implement this and get in front of our members when it comes to a lot of the vendor, supplier, and consulting contracts that you get involved in, that you sign. Many a times there are liabilities that are unidentified where schools can find themselves subjecting themselves to, that they're unaware of. And sometimes these contracts can be pretty one-sided with different parties, especially, even lease agreements. So what we do is we review those. We look at the risk transfer provisions, looking at exactly what our members are assuming in these liability contracts to ensure that they are not assuming unwarranted liabilities. I'm just making sure that there's like equity in these particular agreements to make sure everything is fair. And we really recommend that we're able to kind of review these contracts prior to being signed, because once you sign a contract and unexpectedly something happens, we can find that sometimes it can impact or disrupt the liability covers that could cover our members, simply because I say you already jumped off the cliff. You already kind of signed away certain liabilities or assumed certain liabilities that was not in your best interest. Next is the cost allocation, and you can go that one. Thanks, Dominique. This here, we have a campaign. Typically on the first week of December, we send out a risk questionnaire to all of our members, and we use a risk management information system, which is called Origami. And for us to have about 217 members that are of different sizes with lots of different exposures and information, we use this system to collect all of this information, to compile it so we can easily allocate it to their respective schools, as well as put the necessary rate with the areas of the liability insurance in place, so you can ensure that you are paying the premium that is respective to your exposures, your operations, your size. Again, making sure there's equity in that regard. We work with an actuarial company to help us put together the rate making formula, just to ensure again that we have that equity included in that allocation. During the spring budget workshop, which is coming up pretty soon, at that time, that's where we present the estimated premium for all of our members within a budget notice, kind of outline what you reported to us, exposures, rates, and what your estimated premiums are. It's not final, but it's almost like a not to exceed estimate that we provide. The last thing we want to do is give you an estimate and it's here, X, and then realizing, wait a second, now after a month or so, we kind of get our final premium and it's higher and it's Y. So that's completely avoided. So whatever your estimation is, it's that not to exceed, or it could be lower in case you look at it and realize, oh, Justin, the count of ADA was too much, or wait a second, you counted too many vehicles. We don't have 6, we only have 4. Then you can see those kind of changes, adjustments happening accordingly. Again, accuracy is very, very important because it is a teeter. 217 members. A budget that we use to allocate to all the respective members. If we have premiums that are disjointed and unaligned, it can mess up somebody else's, losses. So that's why it's very much, concise, clear, and I think the OCD, in me is always very particular on the numbers to make sure everything is, very much accurate. So we really encourage that. And so again, that was just the 3 areas of really the brokerage, the insurance, the contract review, and also the cost allocation. Any questions on that? No, goes in. So again, this is main contacts that I have, just in case, Sandy Lee, she is actually a lot of the brains behind, our risk analyst. She handles all of our information systems, anything that has to do with the questionnaire, the abstracts that you receive electronically that deal with doing all this collection of information. She would be your contact. And then my other right hand is Joanne Roque. And she is an executive that can handle any type of changes or operational concerns that you may have that you want to give attention to. Student accident. I've been at Palms for almost 11 years, and I think it took me 11 years to understand student accident, only because I spent all my really almost 30 years, 25, 26 years doing risk and benefits as medical is completely different. Um, but over the years, I've helped kind of carve the framework and kind of set up this system that we have for our members when it comes to student accident. This is, excuse me for my coughing, I ran a marathon yesterday. I think I got a little ill. Um, this here is a framework that we put together. It is an optional coverage for all of our members, only K through 12. It's not available for our secondary members, which are colleges, 2 years and 4 years. This framework is really built into three areas. One, for this optional coverage, we have a base program, we have a catastrophic class 1, and we have a catastrophic class 2. In this base program, we have something in order to kind of give just the sleeper insurance, because there's many times where a lot of our students are not all insured. They don't all have their personal insurance. And so what we did is we create a blanket plan where any type of school sanctioned activities, either occurring an hour before, an hour after school, including summertime curriculums and activities, we just have this blanket. It just covers our students for any type of accident, medical, and sickness injuries unrelated to liability. And under this base program, it is first $25,000 on the first layer, and there's zero deductible. So if there's something that happens, it is just $25,000, because many a times I think that is the range or threshold where costs fall, and there's zero deductible. The first class 1 or catastrophic 1 insurance is a layer that it's a $5 million threshold. Later on, you'll see like various breakdowns and language of what those coverages are within that 5 million threshold. But once you have the $25,000 base exhausted, there's automatically a layer of a class 1 insurance, which provides another $5 million coverage in addition to that 25,000. The class 2 catastrophic insurance only applies to our members that are grades 7 through 12 for interscholastic sports, intramural sports, NMAA sports. So in the event that tackle football, we see another layer of a lot more catastrophic injuries. That is another $5 million. So members that have 7 through 12, they will do the base with the layer of the 5 million, and then the class 2, which is a separate $5 million bucket, applies to the interscholastic sports injuries in that regard. Here we can see just like a various list of just all of the games and the practices and the exposure that are associated under what's covered. What's really important is the overnight field trips. Overnight, 24 hours, taking trips, even out of state. The question is there medical coverage? It would contemplate that. We have students that have vocational work where they go to school, and after like either lunch or seventh or sixth period, they find themselves driving directly to a work study program. And sometimes these work study programs are related to them having to get CTE credits for the class. That is contemplated as well when it comes to medical insurance that's provided. And again, just the travel vehicles, which is pretty, really important here. We have situations where it's like, okay, some of our students are on the buses and they're, traveling to and fro different places. The medical insurance is contemplated, in that regard. So again, anything, even also in private vehicles, some of our members sometimes don't use buses. They have like the SUVs, the 9-passenger SUVs that travel and take students here and there. They'll rent a vehicle. Is they Justin, if we're going to rent a vehicle, is it covered? It's automatically covered. Anytime you rent a vehicle for any type of class purposes, school sanction purposes, you get an SUV, it's automatically covered for the liability and physical damage. No extra expenses are necessary. And the medical insurance extends to cover students in those channels of transportation as well. Any questions on that? Any answer? No. So again, this just kind of gives us the overview. Number one, coverage is extended to include all school sanctioned and summer conditioning, off conditioning sports activities. And again, as long as everything is school sponsored and sanctioned, it is covered. There is a separate claim form in the event there is an injury. Myers Stevens and Tui is our broker partner relationship where those separate claim forms will be filed to them, and they'll process those for you and take care of those situations in a timely manner. At the same time, when we have your booklet for spring budget, it will have all of the claim information, the filing, the contact information that you need in the event that you need that in one place. So it's one area that you can definitely have easy access to access those files and that paperwork. And that's it for the student accident, unless there's any questions in that regard. All
All
right.
right. If there's no questions, then I'll go ahead and take over. I'm going to review the driver monitoring services with Embark Safety. Embark Safety is a contracted vendor with NIMSIA, and they've served our members since 2019. The program is free to NIMSIA members, and it's designed to help minimize your employees' driver risk with regular driver's license monitoring notifications. As you can see from this slide, these statistics show why it's so important that your staff or that you're monitoring your staff's driving records. Like this one in the middle here, drivers with violations in the past year are 43% more likely to get into an accident. So it's definitely something that you want to keep an eye on with your drivers in your schools. So the way that MVR monitoring works, the technology that Embark uses scans the state's motor vehicle records to monitor changes in driver's licenses to find any adverse actions that may expose members to liability or accidental risk. The system will send out a notification whenever an adverse action is identified, which could include a new driver citation, a speeding ticket, a license suspension, or even a DUI. The system also has reminders for upcoming license expirations so that you can keep on top of those for your staff and ensure that they are getting their license renewed in a timely nature. So to sign up for MVR monitoring, you're going to contact Emily Crooks at Embark Safety. She's our customer success representative for NIMSIA. Her contact information is here on the slide. And then all of you should have gotten a welcome packet for NIMSIA risk services. And there's a page at the end of that packet that also has all of the contact information for all of the carriers that we're discussing today. But feel free, if you have any questions or need contact information, you don't have that, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be able to get that information to you. So when you're reaching out to Emily to set up, you'll just let her know that you're an MCM member and that you're interested in being signed up with the MVR monitoring for your school. It's very simple. She establishes you in the system, and once you're in that system, you'll be able to enter all of your driver information for any of your eligible drivers that you want to monitor. And then the system will automatically send out those notifications for any exceptions that may come up. Are there any questions about the driver monitoring with Embark?
Yeah, Dominic, this is Steve.
Yes, sir.
So we're not going to have transportation, so we won't have any buses or drivers, but we may occasionally contract with a third party to provide some transportation. Would we need to do anything for that, or would they take care of that themselves?
I believe, and Justin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that that is already covered if it's that they're covered under their own insurance. And I believe our insurance would also cover if an incident were to occur, but you wouldn't need to put in their information into the driver monitoring system if it's through a third party.
Yeah, and I think that they're licensed. They provide transportation for other schools too. So
right.
Hopefully they know what they're doing.
Perfect. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move on. I'm going to discuss the Technical Assistance Program, or the TAP program, with Cooperative Educational Services. So the TAP program is another NIMSIA funded program through CES. The aim of this program is to decrease special education litigation by providing focused professional development and consultation services. The TAP consultants provide expertise across a broad range of highly specified and in-demand topics and services. And I'm going to go over a little short list of some of the sample topics that they go over. really covers a broad range of topics. It can be anything from early childhood topics, dyslexia, behavior, autism, AI and special education, IEP compliance and writing. They provide a lot of assistance in many different areas. And then some of the services that the program includes are the Hot Topic on-demand webinar library that's available 24/7. They also send out a monthly guidance article that they have specialized presentations, file and program audits, consultation for programming, for student-related concerns, assistance with PED corrective action plans, and due process and OCR complaints. The contact for the TAP program is Loretta Garcia. Her email here is at the bottom of this slide. She's been the basically the director of the program for the past, I think, 10 years now. So if you have any questions about individualized training, she would definitely be the one to reach out to about that. It's a really great program. Any questions about that? No? Perfect. All right, so our next carrier is CCMSI, which is short for Cannon Cochrane Management Services, and they're our claims handling carrier. They manage all of the incoming claims for property liability and workers' compensation. All of the forms that you need to report any claims that may come up while you're, operating would be through the NMCIA website. We did just have a redesign of our website, so if you need any help navigating that, don't feel free to reach out to me and I can help you navigate, because it does look a little different than it did if you've been on the website previously. But we're hoping it's going to be a little more user friendly. So the process for filing a claim, once you get that form filled out and submitted to CCMSI, they go ahead and review and assign an adjuster to your claim. And then the claim is investigated and any appropriate action is taken to resolve and close out that claim. For the property and liability claims, your point of contact is going to be Steve Vanetsky, and his information is at the end of this presentation as well as in your packet. And then for workers' compensation, Cindy Carrillo is the claims manager for workers' comp. And then some other services that CCMSI provides are nurse care management, where a medical professional can attend a medical appointment by phone or in person for the member. And they also provide training on how to report a claim, workers' comp 101 and Medicare training. So if you do want to set up maybe for your staff or your administrative staff on how to report a claim for any one of these lines of coverage, you can reach out to CCMSI and they can get a training set up for you. Any questions on CCMSI? Wonderful. All right, so I'm also going to cover a few of the loss prevention services that are through Palms and Associates. I just wanted to highlight a few of them. You may have noticed if you had time to go through your welcome packet that we sent out, there are a lot more services offered and trainings offered with Palms and Associates than just what's on this slide. But just to highlight a few, they have restorative practices training, identifying a predator, threat assessment and active shooter training. There's one that I think is really beneficial. It's red flags and green lights, navigating healthy and unhealthy relationships. And this is a student-focused training that's age appropriate to the students, where Angelique Stadio is the trainer, and she is able to tailor this presentation to the students so that it is age appropriate, talk to them about what a healthy relationship looks like, the dangers of social media and things of that nature. It's a really excellent training. And then, as I said, in your welcome packet, there is a much bigger list of all of the different trainings and services that they provide. They're an excellent resource for our schools. And then Stop It Anonymous Reporting is another free to our members system. It's an app that students and staff can utilize to report concerns anonymously. This is a comprehensive reporting platform that enables anonymous reporting of various issues, including bullying, harassment, safety threats, suicidal ideation, weapons in schools. A key feature that I like to highlight for Stop It is the 24/7 after hours crisis text line, so that if a student is experiencing a crisis outside of school hours, they are still able to reach out to a trained counselor and be able to get the resources and the help that they need in the moment. The resources that are in the app can also be customizable for your school or for your community specifically. You can update those at any time. If you guys are interested in receiving a demo of the anonymous reporting system, if you're not utilizing one or you think it would be beneficial, Matthew Toth is the main contact for new users with Lightspeed Stop It. His contact information will be on the last page of this presentation. And then I'm going to go over the memorandum of coverage and the recent deductible addition. Our current copies of the MOCs are on the NMCA website if you want to review those in detail. But we did make an addition to the MOC for sexual abuse and misconduct claims with an occurrence date of July 1, 2025 or after, where a deductible will be applied to any school that has a claim that occurs on or after July 1 of 2025. The deductible won't be paid out by the members until the claim has been closed, and that can average anywhere between 18 and 36 months, but we do notify the members as soon as we see those claims come in and let them know, give them a reminder letter that they are eligible for that deductible. So when the claim does close, they will be on the hook for that amount. And then this little table here is out of our MOC. The total amount for the deductible is dependent on the student count of the school. We have them categorized from micro all the way to large. So for example, if you have a small school with a student count between 201 and 1,000 students, and you do get a sexual abuse or misconduct claim after that date, then it would be $80,000 deductible per claim with a maximum out of pocket of $320,000. Are there any questions about that? Okay. And then another notable loss prevention effort that NMCA and Palms and Associates has been is the addition of this sexual abuse and misconduct compliance questionnaire. This is an annual questionnaire to ensure that each school is following legislation mandates for sexual abuse and misconduct. POM staff are extremely helpful with this process and can guide you through that questionnaire when it comes up. This next year, we just had it for this the policy year starting in July, but we'll be sending out another one every year. So if you guys have any questions when that questionnaire pops up, POM staff are very responsive and happy to help with any and all questions you guys may have relating to compliance with House Bill 128. And then there is a credit amount if you are deemed in compliance, and POMs will do everything that they can to ensure that you maintain and get into compliance with that legislation. And once you are in compliance, then a credit amount will be issued on your general liability premium. And that is also dictated by this little table here, also by student count. So your credit amounts, say if you're a medium school district, you'd have a $5,000 credit on your general liability premium. Any questions on that? Nope. Well, then that concludes our presentation. This is all of our contact information for all of the carriers and for NMCA that we discussed today. This will all be in that welcome packet that I did send out to you. If any of you didn't get that welcome packet and would like me to resend it to you, please let me know. I'm happy to do that. And I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has anything about what we discussed.
Ms. Dominique, once we fill out that welcome packet, will be included into POMS, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Well, if there
Well,
aren't any
thank you,
questions,
Poms.
thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Nipsia.
much.
Oh, and one last thing, to Julia, to your question, when you mentioned once you finish the package, you're in Palms. Note that once that's completed, your coverages are automatically in place. There's nothing that you have to do in order to ensure that your coverages are in place. Once the packet's in and that's already taken and complete, then your insurance is already in place for the lines of coverage that I mentioned. The only thing that many of you will probably receive from me separately is a 1 or 2 page questionnaire that has to deal with the cyber protection and things that you guys may have in place in order to put that coverage in line. That will come from like a separate email. But other than that, all of your insurances and liabilities are in place, so you don't have to worry about Justin, do we not? If you need any type of paperwork or evidence of, then just let me know, but your coverages are in place.
Thank you.
And maybe the same question. I think that we were just working with Mike Vigil, our business manager,
Your
who
business
filled out
manager, okay.
this long form, and he went through, and some of it we knew, some we didn't. So I think that
Okay.
that's what we just submitted
Okay. Okay.
for Collins Lake. And then Dominique, I know we had talked at one point about, the fact that we're an outdoor school, so we may be a little bit different. And again, I think that it may behoove everyone to kind of see what we're doing out here and making sure that someone isn't surprised down the road. It's, oh my God, your kids are climbing trees. We didn't know about that.
Yeah, absolutely. We could have someone from Palms come and do a site visit and kind of let you know if there are any safety liabilities that they see that may need correction. If you'd like, I can have Larry Vigil get in touch with you from Palms if
We
you'd like
probably
to do
could.
that.
We've got a lot of alligators and crocodiles running around and bears that are running free. So it may be some issues. I'm just kidding.
Justin, he's kidding. It's just we have a lake, there'll be canoeing.
Oh,
There
yeah.
could be cougars. There's definitely coyotes, I mean, it's outdoors. It's in the mountains.
Right.
Mhm.
And we do encourage them. We will encourage them to climb trees and not to fall out of the canoes, but it will happen. So we need to make provision for all of that.
Mhm.
That's why that student accident may just be a good handy addition to have
Mhm.
in place,
Kat, did you have a question?
I do. I just want to make sure, just so that I hear it like 100 times. With the bus situation, I may go through Herrera or Sanchez, and I understand that that's covered through NIMSIA, right? I don't.
Yes, so what
Yeah.
happens is any bus contractors that you have, written contracts with bus contractors, they're not your employees, they're not your buses, but you contract to provide those to and from route services for your students, then they are covered for auto liability and also for auto physical damage. The bus contractors are not covered for general liability. That's something that they have to have their own. But again, all auto liability and all auto physical damage coverage is provided to those bus contractors through your charter. They're covered under your insurance.
And I guess I'm not quite sure why our finance person through our governance council, she's the treasurer. So she was
Okay,
really adamant about getting a copy of the insurance policy that says they're covered as well. What
that's
is that?
fine.
Yeah, she asked if
Yeah,
the board of directors were covered, so I wasn't quite sure like where to guide her. I sent her what actually, Justin, you sent it to me. I'm Kat from Equip.
oh, that's right.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
now I remember
Yeah.
that. Oh, that's
So
right. I did send you that
yeah.
information, didn't
I
I? I
wasn't
sent you that
quite
information.
sure, like, yeah, I wasn't quite sure what I needed to like have clarified for her or what the intention was. But she just asked if the board
Yes.
of directors had insurance.
So really quick, I gave you the lie, but yeah. So real quickly, in the reference, go to the memorandum of coverage I sent you. Go to the limits of liability. It's going to outline coverage for bus contractors. It'll lay it out.
Okay, and then what about for the board of directors?
Same thing. Not in that particular area. It's already contemplated within the insurance coverage.
Okay.
So the thing is, when it comes to NIMSIA, for everyone to know, all those lines that I named out, like 7 or 6 different lines of coverage, the program is under like, it's called like a public entity form. So all those things are included under the general liability. They're not all listed out. Now, what happens is when you go into the definitions of the memorandum, they have like a definition section. They will highlight what is covered under the liability, and that's where you see like the directors and the officers and things and employees in that regard. So when it's talking about your general liability, that's including your GL, your auto, professional liability, directors and officers, EPLI. It's like a public entity form. It's kind of more robust and comprehensive. Then you see other insurance policies that are all separate and have the name on top. This is more all encompassing. But again, I definitely encourage you to look through the definition section that will highlight the areas of those areas of prospective coverages. At the same time, and I don't know if you received it in your welcome packet, I believe you did, but if not, there is a clip note version of all the insurances that we put together. So sometimes it might be a little difficult with the knowledge and the technical stuff and the references and all the states and the statutes and things of that nature. We have kind of like, the cliff note version that had more of a summary of like, okay, this makes more layman term sense. If you don't have that, then let me know and I can email it to you. But I believe in the welcome packets, they include that summary of coverage next to copies of the liability and the property policies, if I'm correct, Dominique.
Yeah, I believe so. But if that's not in the packet, I need to go back and review. There's quite a few pages in that packet, so I'll go
Oh,
back
well,
and
thing
review
is,
and make sure.
what we do know when we have new charters and new members, like for spring budget, and like today, gosh, time is flying so by. I think that probably gonna be like maybe at the end of this week that we send out the spring budget booklets a week ahead of time. I think this year, since it moved up so quick, don't be surprised if you get it on next Monday opposed to this Friday. But we send that out, and new members always have that involved. We make sure you have a copy of the current, MOC, memorandum of coverage for liability, for property claim forms, the summary of coverage. We put it all in those packets. So if you didn't get it in your welcome packet, you're going to receive it this week, early next week for a spring budget.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Like I said, if you guys have any questions about getting in touch with any of our carriers, or if you have just any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to reach out. My information here is fourth one down on this page. So feel free to contact me if you have any questions.
Me as well. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks all.
Thank you both.
You got it. Anytime. Bye.
Have a good one.
All right. Wow. That was a lot of insurance talk. Okay. I have a list of questions for Missy that I'll be hopefully getting answers from her this afternoon, and I'll get you guys an email shot out. I'm also going to include the wellness policy that she wants me to include and the in blank enrollment page that you guys asked for.
When is that wellness policy due?
I believe it's on the May 1st checklist.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ted.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Maggie. Bye, Julia. Bye, Kat.